We're just going to talk to you guys a little bit about life as a student in the UK. So as I had mentioned, I spent 5 years there. I did my last 2 years of high school doing the International Baccalaureate program in Sevenoaks in Kent. And then I studied economics and management at Oxford for 3 years. One of the wonderful things about the UK that I always love to say is I feel like it's the Canada of Europe. It's a very multicultural place. You'll make friends from all around the world, and people there are very friendly and welcoming. As I just said, like it's a rigorous academic experience. So if you know what you want to do and you want to be pushed to your limits, it's a great place to go, and it encourages you very much to be independent and develop yourself. I left home when I was 16, so it was very much an eye-opening experience for me to find myself, to find what I was interested in, and to discover my passions. So there's a lot of wonderful culture and sites out there, beautiful museums. One of my favorite things to do is just wander around London and go into the Tate Gallery and just be there for hours. I was there in January, and I saw some impressionist pieces with my own eyes for the first time, and they nearly popped out the side of my head. So it was an amazing experience. The Olympics, I had the pleasure of actually going back for the Olympics in 2012, but I remember in 2011, even though it wasn't in London, you could feel the buzz and you could feel the excitement. In Trafalgar Square in London, they had this huge screen up so people would come and communally watch the Olympics together, and it was a great experience. Lots of international student activities, cultural awareness, Model United Nations, student unions and councils, just like you would have here, and different and interesting sports and activities. So not the typical hockey or baseball or basketball, but different traditions. So instead of Frosh Week, you have Freshers Week. You have big balls where you're out on your college grounds till 6 o'clock in the morning. You have bops, which are basically kind of fancy dress parties, and then you have huge open days where lots of prospective students come, and it's sort of one day out of the year where your entire school is opened up to new prospects, and that's a great experience. So I could go on for days, but I won't, about my experiences in the UK, and it was wonderful, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. I'm going to pass it over to Suzanne to talk to us a little bit about her experiences.
Right. Likewise, I could talk all day about my student experience as well. Best time of my life, I must admit. Well, it just happened that I stayed to study in Yorkshire at Leeds Met, more because of the course really, and then went on to Hull University. I did 2 undergraduate courses, so it was a 2-year course initially at Leeds Met, a little bit similar to the foundation degree and the H&D 2-year courses that Pfizer's mentioned. I did that in European business with Italian and German, and it was more of a vocational course because I got the opportunity to spend 3 months to study and work in Italy in my first year, which I suppose is one of the another of the reasons why I took that course. So I came out with a foundation degree. I graduated twice actually, so I was quite lucky. And then I went on to the final year of a degree at Hull University, which is about an hour and a half from Leeds, and I did that in systems management. So it looks quite good on my CV, I suppose. I've got many highlights. Obviously, you know, you make friends from all over the world. To me, because I was doing languages, it was really important that I improved my languages. So I spent time with students from Italy, and they're friends for life, and I have great holidays over in Italy as well. But you can probably tell I love the UK that much. I didn't decide to actually stay in Italy, which I was thinking about. The course was very practical, which is I loved about the course. It does very much depend on the size of the university to what the size is of sort of the lectures and tutorials and seminars, but I would say that the tutors are always there on hand. You know, even if your lecture has a class size of students, say between 100 and 200 students, you still have seminars and tutorials for about an hour, which can range from sort of 10 to 30 students, very much depending on the course you've chosen in the university. So they're always there on hand, and people are very friendly and will help you as well. So you can be doing group assessments. You know, it's very mixed in terms of you have students from all over the world on your course. You'll have a mixture of ages. You might have some people that are 18 and have more mature students at 21, which is great. So you get to meet people from different backgrounds and from all over the world. In terms of sports clubs and social events, I suppose I was a little bit lazy. I didn't sort of take up all the opportunities, and there was definitely something there for everybody. I did my aerobics and I did running as well. One of the benefits actually about Leeds Met in particular is, I don't know if you've heard of sort of the Tykes or the Rhinos, which are very famous for rugby. But if you were a student at Leeds Met, you got free tickets. So how wonderful was that? And go to the, I think it's was called the Carnegie World Cup Challenge in London as well, and even help out as a student as well. A lot of the students could get involved in volunteering as well, so they would get to go and work at fabulous places in London, or they'd get to go to India and overseas. So there was great opportunities. And I remember at the time, I think it was something like the Bollywood Festival, and a range of students went over to India for 2 weeks, and it was all paid for. So how great would that look on your CV? It gave me a lot of confidence and opened up many doors to me. I went straight into a job working for a multinational company within the UK. And even now, sort of 25 years later, it's opened up doors to me. I recently, well, not recently, about 2 years ago, I did a professional course similar to the CIM. I don't know if you've heard of the IDM in direct and digital marketing. Without my undergraduate course behind me, I wouldn't have had that opportunity. So it still opens up many doors to you, and I really enjoyed being a student. Hence, like I said earlier, I went back to work at Leeds Met, and I'm now working with Pfizer, because I just think, being a student just gives you so much experience as well as the qualification. And I'll now hand you over to Ross to talk about life as a student in Scotland.
Great, thank you. So I lived in Edinburgh, which is the capital of Scotland. I was in an international residence, and I had the privilege of meeting students from all over the world, and I also had some Scottish flatmates as well. The UK is plenty to offer, so you could just visit castles and wander around and see stuff that existed before Canada was even like an entity of any kind, and things so old that if they were here, they would be roped off in a museum with someone charging admission. That's all just waiting to be explored. And as Suzanne mentioned, Europe is incredibly interconnected. So during my time there, I explored the UK by car and train, went to Norway, Hungary, Austria, Slovakia, the Czech Republic, Germany, Iceland, Turkey, and Jordan. In one of my classes as a journalism student, we produced a magazine, so I learned skills there that I'm still using today. And of course, the publication market in the UK is highly competitive, so that was a great experience. And I would say that studying in the UK definitely broadened my horizons tremendously, as prior to exchange, I had not been outside of Canada for longer than a 10-day vacation. And over there, so in the UK, as both Faiz and Suzanne mentioned, there's plenty of cultural events. There's music, outdoor events like the Edinburgh Fringe and Glastonbury. There's big arenas like O2, the Eurovision contest. And of course, the music from the UK, the British pop and rock, is legendary. Beatles, Queen, Jessie J, One Direction, Spice Girls, Adele, Coldplay, Oasis, just to name a few. Great club scene, great student nights, very cheap nights out with friends. It's fabulous, very easy to go out on the town. There was shopping malls all across the nation, nations, plural, the UK, and farmers markets, and sport as well, rugby, football, which is what we call soccer, cricket, tennis, and even if you are like me and you're born and bred in Canada and you're a diehard ice hockey fan, there is actually a professional British ice hockey league that you can go to, see a game for much cheaper than an NHL game. £10, great outing. Also as well, Wimbledon, the Highland Games, Six Nations, UEFA Champions League, Oxbridge boat race is very famous, and the Ashes Cup. And as far as TV and film, you'll probably know West End, Shakespeare, X Factor, Downton Abbey, the Harry Potter series, which was actually written where I lived in Edinburgh by J.K. Rowling, and the movies are there as well. James Bond, Britain's probably most legendary film export, and Top Gear is also a very popular series over here.
In sporting news, it was very exciting for everybody this weekend because of the Wimbledon men's finals. So Andy Murray won Wimbledon and is the first British champion in, I think, 77 years or something like that. So definitely something for everyone over there to celebrate. And my Facebook feed was filled with people talking about Wimbledon. So a lot of great things that you can experience while you're over there.
Okay, so I will give you the next slide here on culture insights. Robin Hood is from Nottingham, Loch Ness Monster is in Scotland, Doctor Who is filmed in Cardiff, and the Titanic was built in Belfast. So there you go, that's England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And I think Faiza and Suzanne can tell us what these photos are that we're looking at.
Sure, yeah, just to let you know that they are real pictures. The picture at the bottom, we haven't just grabbed them from somewhere, from Google Images, so they are real. Harewood House, you can see on the image at the bottom, that's only about 20 minutes from me, and it's beautiful, like heritage. State home, and they have a lot of open air concerts there, and I think they had Elton John was there not so long ago, and they have like drive-throughs for Grease and Dirty Dancing, so that's quite good. In the middle, you've got beautiful thatched cottage. That's somewhere I love to go on holiday in the south, sort of Devon and Cornwall. That's lovely. And on the right there, you can see it's something called Malham Cove, and that's fabulous, and you can walk right up across the rocks, and you get amazing views around there. And then you can see beautiful coastlines here, which are the south of England. So, I mean, these are just a few of the beautiful pictures that you have that sort of just sort of demonstrate some of the great sights of the UK.